Hi, this is Greta. This video focuses on assigning PDFs for students to annotate. I'll be using the Kami extension and I have a free account. To post a PDF for students to annotate, go to the Classwork tab in Google Classroom, click Create, and go to Assignment. Now these are the directions if you have a free account like me. Give your assignment a name. Add directions for students here. And attach your PDF. Mine happens to be in Google Drive. I'm going to make this make a copy for each student so that each student gets their own individual copy of this PDF. And that's the teacher side of assigning a PDF that a student will annotate using the Kami extension. Next, we're going to look at the student side of this assignment. I'm switched to the student side. So I'm signed in as a student to this Google Classroom. And if I open up a PDF assignment, this is what it looks like for me. It's going to take me to a screen that looks like this. I'm going to go to Open With, and I'll need the Kami extension. Now, if they don't have the Kami extension, if they go to the Chrome Web Store, they need the Kami extension, and it should be under the heading that says extensions right here. There's an app and an extension. They need the extension. So I'm going to click it, and the student will add it to Chrome. They're going to have to go to Add Extension. Now, if they've never used Kami before, after they add the extension, they will click the icon that appears on the web address bar, and if it's hiding from them, it's underneath this puzzle piece. Okay, they will log in with Google, select their district account, scroll to the bottom and click Allow. And then they're going to have to fill out a little brief survey. So I am using Kami for school. Your students would pick student. I'm signed in as a student to Google Classroom with a teacher's account. So I'm going to hit teacher. And then you can answer yes, no, I don't know. But Google Classroom is an option here. And it appears they're asking for quite a bit more than they used to. And then we'll click finish. So the first time they use it is a pain, and there's a little bit of setup. Now that the student has installed Kami from the Chrome Web Store, when we go to Open With, we should see Annotate with Kami. And if you don't see it, have them go back and reload the screen a couple of times, and it should pop up. Kami's going to open up, and you're going to have tools over here on the left. You can see that we're going to authorize Google Drive real quick. You're going to see you have lots of tools. When you are on the free version, you may not have all the tools. So when you first create your account, or when a student first creates an account, they may have things that they don't have a little ways down the road. But you can see we can add text boxes. We can draw. We can add shapes. There's an eraser. So this assignment asks students to circle the variables. And I am not a good drawer on the screen. If I use my finger, it's a little easier. But you can see I can circle. And it also has a fill in the blank. And this would probably be a text box, although a student could write it in as well. Okay, so now I've got my text box and I can type my answer. Okay. This is not going to show up in Google Classroom for the teacher to see if the student doesn't save their work a particular way. So the student is going to need to go to the save icon and under Google Drive, click Save Changes Now. We see this turn in button simply because we're on the free trial. And if you notice, the trial ends in 90 days. So students will not have that option forever. I would go ahead and get them used to going to the save icon and save changes now. And when it says all changes saved, to see their work, if they go back to Google Classroom and reload the page, refresh, and open the assignment and the attachment back up, they should see the annotations that they made on that PDF. Now, this particular assignment works fairly well as a PDF assignment. There are a few things to circle. There's something to fill in the blank for. You have to keep in mind that the more text boxes students have to draw and the more they have to write with their finger, the more frustrating things can be. But this particular PDF lends itself pretty well to a digital assignment. Not all PDFs work well as a digital assignment. Here's one that does not. So I'm going to open up this PDF. And again, I'm going to go to Open with Kami. And this is a crossword puzzle. So to complete this as a student, I am going to have to add a text box into every single box in the crossword puzzle. I want you to think about how frustrating that would be if I want to type it neatly. Or I'm going to have to write with my finger and try to draw my letters in to those boxes. And you can see I'm already all outside the lines and it's a little hard to do. So there are some PDFs that are just not going to work well as digital assignments. You need to look at them and kind of make that judgment call before you push it out for students.